أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور. الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فتور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلنا رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير. وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير. إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير. وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير. إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير. وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور. ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Perpetual benefits are from Him in whose authority is all control, and He is continuously managing the function of all things. Who planned dying and living to make you aware which of you is most competent in functioning, and He is always grand, protective. Who planned perfect upper regions and levels. You see no confusion in the planning of the beneficent. Put the mind to it again. Do you see any disorganization? Then give the mind an about turn. The mind will return to you bedazzled, even though it be weary. We have beautified the lower heights with twinkling lamps and placed them as theories for those who challenge. We have waiting for them searing agony. For those who are ungrateful to their nurturer is an unending distress and horrible final destination. At the time they are thrown into it, they hear from its loud shrieks as it bubbles, almost exploding from rage. As soon as a company is thrown into it, its guards inquire of them, "Didn't an informer appear to you?" They utter, "Indeed, an advisor did appear to us, but we rejected and behaved as if Allah had not sent down anything. Oh, so now you are all nothing but in repeatedly increasing mistake." They sighed, "If only we had listened and used our reason, we would not have been among the enraged comrades." They will acknowledge their defects, then become alienated from the enraged comrades. Those who respect their nurturer in private, they acquire an armor and a big bonus. hide your action, or expose it. He always knows what is inside the breasts. Is he not familiar with who sets up plans? And he always unearths hidden qualities and is ever exposing them. The Quran, chapter 67, verses 1 to 14. I bear witness that there is one God, Allah, and I also bear witness that Muhammad, upon whom be peace, is the last and final messenger of Allah, after whom no prophet old or new will come. I begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you. I am Farida Mohammed of the Ahmadiyya Anjuman Ishati Islam, which means the Ahmadiyya Organization for the Propagation of Islam. Ahmadiyya is derived from the honored name of the Prophet of Islam, as found in chapter 61, verse 6 of the Quran. On behalf of this non-sectarian organization, I am pleased to present to you a better Islam. Chapter 67, section 1 of the Quran, which I read at the beginning, refers to the establishment of the kingdom of Allah, which is attained by being the best in deeds. Verse 2. The Quran explains that the sign of his kingdom is that there shall come to you the heart in which there is tranquility from your Lord. The Quran, chapter 2, verse 248. We follow all the prophets, for each had their own specialties. They all came to teach us how to enjoy life, how to enrich our lives. That is why they all gave news of heaven or a kingdom. In the Lord's Prayer, for example, Jesus promised a future kingdom. Thy kingdom come, he said. Jesus longed for the establishment of God's will on earth, as it was in heaven. For in this he saw the establishment of the heavenly kingdom. 2,000 years have passed, and that prayer has failed to receive any response. The Christian church is still awaiting the prayed-for kingdom with the descent of Jesus from on high. But Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world." John chapter 18, verse 36. But how could anyone pray for the heavenly kingdom to come on earth if Jesus' own kingdom had nothing to do with the things of the earth? Let us look at the Prophet Muhammad's kingdom. The Prophet Muhammad hoarded no gold for himself. He built no palace, no audience hall. He had nothing of kingly pleasure and comfort, no carpets nor thrones, no crown nor treasures. He built no huge temples, churches, or statues for himself or his religion. He created no dynasty to succeed him. He left nothing but the divine teachings he received and his example in following them. This was his Islamic kingdom. The kingdom of heaven will come and rule the earth when the human being will decorate himself or herself with divine garments. The Quran describes it as libas or taqwa. The human being will then walk humbly with God and his will, Allah's will. Allah's will then be on earth as it is in heaven, as Jesus prayed. In the Quran, the kingdom is in the hand of God. That is, when God rules and his laws of morality prevail. The kingdom of heaven on earth will become a reality when each human being equips himself or herself with divine principles of morality, when each person develops his or her capabilities to obtain this kingdom. God's kingdom is not obtained by conquering lands and killing people. After all, Allah owns all lands. Why do we have to acquire physical territory for him? The Quran gives us the charter of the heavenly kingdom. It gives us an insight into all those divine morals which must be the foundation of our moral code. It teaches us that when you change your life, you will also change. Chapter 67, verse 1 assures us that perpetual benefits, known as barakat, are from Him in whose authority, yad, meaning hand, is all control, al-mulk, and He is continuously managing the function of all things. Verse 2 indicates that in the seeking of the kingdom of Allah, we must take notice that there are great challenges to meet to prepare ourselves for existing and enjoying this kingdom. He has planned dying and living, bad and good times, to make you aware which of you is most competent in functioning. But we are assured that as we endure these challenges, He is always superior. That is, He is always overlooking us and being protective of us. Therefore, have no fear. In confronting challenges, our attitude and approach is to create a determination based on the messages we derive from the verse of the Qur'an which says, He is with you wherever you are. Chapter 57, verse 4. God is not sometimes in charge or occasionally helpful. He does not occupy a position of power one day and is overthrown the next. Chapter 2, verse 107. Any difficulty in which you find yourself may puzzle you. It does not baffle God. He uses it for His purpose, which is to make you a better person. Chapter 2, verses 155 to 157, which says, And we shall certainly try you with something of fear and hunger, and loss of property and lives and fruits, and give good news to the patient, who when a misfortune falls to them, they say, Surely we are Allah's, and to Him we shall return. These are they on who are blessings and mercy from their Lord, and those are followers of the right course. In chapter 67, verse 2 says, Who created death and life that He might try you, which of you is best in deeds? And He is the mighty, the forgiving. And chapter 94, verses 2 to 6, which says, And remove from thee thy burden, which weighed down thy back, and exalted for thee thy mention. Surely with difficulty is ease. With difficulty is surely ease. What is coming will make sense of what is happening. Chapter 93, verse 4 says, And surely the latter state is better for thee than the former. The assessment of our competence in functioning during challenges raises us, heaves us. Heaven is from the word heave, that is, lifting us up to a higher region, to higher levels. Verse 3 tells us that this is a perfect, well thought out plan, and we are even asked to examine that plan. As it says in verse 3, who planned perfect upper regions and levels. You see no confusion in the planning of the beneficent. Put the mind to it again. Do you see any disorganization? As we go through challenges, which become more serious at each stage, we may not be aware that with Allah's power and help, we are getting stronger, if not physically, certainly spiritually. Whenever we recognize and acknowledge our capacity to endure more hardships that we never thought we could bear, our minds will be bedazzled, even though we may feel that we are tired. Verse 5 encourages us to look back at the previous levels that now become beautiful memories and experiences of the difficulties we had endured. Many persons proudly recall their hard times, sometimes even stating with great pleasure that they endured greater difficulty than others with similar afflictions. Past challenges light up our lives as we can relate with joy how hard things were, yet we came through with flying colors. But those who doubted, that we could have succeeded, now put forth several theories as to the causes of our successes, other than it being the hand and help of Allah. For example, when one overcomes an illness or an infirmity, others attribute it to the advice that they had given, or to medicine, or to the operation, or to the competence of the doctors, etc., failing to admit the role and function of Allah in the process of bringing about a relief or cure. The kingdom of Allah is a heaven on earth and is available to everyone, but is obtained only by those who wish to seek it. Verse 6 teaches us that they are those who are ungrateful, that is, they fail to make use of Allah's plans for establishing His kingdom in their lives. They do not recognize Allah as their Rabb or nurturer, that is, the one who nurtures them by taking them along the way from level to level or at each stage. And those who are ungrateful, when they experience similar challenges in their life, their reaction or experience is an unending distress and a final horrible destination. Verse 7 reminds us that every time they experience affliction, they loudly complain of their bad situation, they lack patience, and they further complain increasingly about everything or everyone else. The resources were not enough, or were of poor quality, the doctors or nurses or others did not do their job, or did it incompetently, etc., as they become more furious at themselves and everyone else. Verse 8 continues, as soon as they share their experiences with those who have fallen into similar circumstances, those in charge inquire of them about the personnel who gave instructions. Weren't the instructions clearly laid out? Verse 9 says, their response is yes, but we didn't bother with them. They didn't know what they were doing. In verse 10, now they grieved, but if only we had listened and used our reason, we would not have been among enraged, complacent comrades. Having acknowledged their error in trying to be bold, mannish, and self-capable of managing their afflictions, they seek to distance themselves from those whose ill advice influenced their attitude and behavior. The Quran concludes this section in verses 12, 13, and 14 by indicating the proper approach for enduring challenges and the positive and rewarding results. Through every difficulty, without others even knowing, one must revere one's nurturer, the person up there, God, Allah. This provides the armor to fight the challenges and gives us a big boost. Whether one cries inwardly or outwardly, Allah always knows what one is going through, even if others don't. After all, is He not the one who has planned all of this to bring out the qualities that each one may not even have known he or she possesses? By exposing them, Allah shows His existence and power. When Allah wants to show His power, He chooses the righteous and grateful ones to put through challenges, not those who reject Him. But we are assured that as we endure these challenges, He is always superior. That is, He is always overlooking us and being protective of us. Therefore, have no fear. A better Islam can be found in the wisdom of the Qur'an. Obtain a copy of the Qur'an, read it for yourself, use your own intelligence, and you will agree that of all the religions prevalent in the world, Islam is the only religion which is free from error and terror. Let us adopt the principles and systems of Islam. They have worked in the past to create a better human being, and a new understanding of them will ensure they work in the present and the future. Islam works to bring about harmony among all human beings. The Ahmadiyya Anjuman looks forward to you joining us again as we share our thoughts on a better Islam. बारकल्लाहु लना व लकुम फ़िल क़ुरआनिल अज़ीम व नफ़अना व इय्याकुम बिल आयाति व ज़िक्रिल हकीम। इन्नहु तआला जवादुन करीमुम मलिकुम barrur ra'ufur rahim. May Allah expand our and your understanding of the mighty Qur'an. May you and I derive benefits of the messages by bringing out its wisdom. Indeed, Allah is lofty, bounteous, ennobling, the one bestowing ownership and resources. He is tender and continuously rewarding. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम, खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम, मके सामान पैदा कर मुसलमानों में अपना इश्क, मुसलमानों में अपना इश्क ऐ रहमान पैदा कर। खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम के सामान पैदा कर। मिटा बातिल जहाँ से मिल लटे हक का बजे डंका, मिटा बातिल जहाँ से मिल लटे हक का बजे डंका। दिले मुर्दा में मुस्लिम के, दिले मुर्दा में मुस्लिम के, खुदाया जान पैदा कर। खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम के सामान पैदा कर। मुसलमान रह गए अगयार में मुद्दत से है मौला, मुसलमान रह गए अगयार में मुद्दत से है मौला। हमारी फतह नुसरत का, हमारी फतह नुसरत का कोई सामान पैदा कर। खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम के सामान पैदा कर। चले नक्शे कफ़े पाए नबी पर जिंदगी भर हम, चले नक्शे कफ़े पाए नबी पर जिंदगी भर हम। हमारे कल्बो दिल में जज़्ब, हमारे कल्बो दिल में जज़्ब ईमान पैदा कर। खुदाया अज़मत इस्लाम के सामान पैदा कर। न हो मायूस तू ऐ यार अपने रब की रहमत से, न हो मायूस तू ऐ यार अपने रब की रहमत से। मगर दिल में ज़रा सिद्को, मगर दिल में ज़रा सिद्को सफ़ा की शान पैदा कर। खुदाया अज़मते इस्लाम की सामान पैदा कर, मुसलमानों में अपना इश्क ए रहमान पैदा कर, खुदाया अज़मते इस्लाम की सामान पैदा कर। आमीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन, ज़लज़ला क्या इस जहाँ से कूच कर जाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन, ज़लज़ला क्या इस जहाँ से कूच कर जाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन। गैर क्या जाने की गैरत उसकी क्या दिखलाएंगी, खुद बताएगा उन्हें वो यार बतलाने के दिन। दोस्त तो उस यार ने दी की मुसीबत देख ली, आएंगे इस बाग के अब जल्द लहराने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन, ज़लज़ला क्या इस जहाँ से कूच कर जाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन। दिन बहुत है सख्त और खौफो खतर दर पेश है, पर यही है दोस्तों उस यार के पाने के दिन। दीन की नुसरत के लिए एक आसमां पर शोर है, अब गया वक्ते खज़ाए है फल लाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन, ज़लज़ला क्या इस जहाँ से कूच कर जाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन। छोड़ दो वो राग जिसको आसमां गाता नहीं, अब तो है ये दिल के अंधों दी के गुन गाने के दिन। छोड़ दो वो राग जिसको आसमां गाता नहीं, अब तो है ये दिल के अंधों दी के गुन गाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन, ज़लज़ला क्या इस जहाँ से कूच कर जाने के दिन। फिर चले आते हैं यारो ज़लज़लाने के दिन। आमीन।